Welcome! Today we are looking at ecology of populations at an advanced level. This is topic 4 in your SS3 biology series. This topic is common in essay questions in your examinations. Pay close attention. Let us begin. First, let me explain what population ecology is. Population ecology is the study of populations in relation to their environment. It examines how populations change over time. It examines the factors that affect population size and distribution. Population ecology is a branch of ecology. It is essential for understanding how species interact with their environment. It is essential for conservation and management. Population ecology helps us understand the dynamics of natural populations. It helps us predict population changes. It is a fundamental part of biology. Now let me explain the characteristics of populations. There are several characteristics. The first is population size. Population size is the number of individuals in a population. The second is population density. Population density is the number of individuals per unit area. The third is population distribution. Population distribution is the pattern of spacing of individuals. There are 3 types: uniform, random, and clumped. The fourth is age structure. Age structure is the proportion of individuals in different age groups. The fifth is sex ratio. Sex ratio is the proportion of males to females. These characteristics describe the population. They help us understand its dynamics. Now, let me explain population growth. Population growth is the change in population size over time. It is determined by 4 factors: birth rate, death rate, immigration, and emigration. Birth rate is the number of births per 1,000 individuals. Death rate is the number of deaths per 1,000 individuals. Immigration is the movement of individuals into a population. Emigration is the movement of individuals out of a population. Population growth can be calculated using the formula: population growth equals births plus immigration minus deaths minus emigration. When births and immigration exceed deaths and emigration, the population grows. When deaths and emigration exceed births and immigration, the population declines. When they are equal, the population is stable. Now let me explain the types of population growth. There are 2 main types: exponential growth and logistic growth. Exponential growth occurs when resources are unlimited. The population grows at a constant rate. It doubles at regular intervals. Exponential growth follows a J-shaped curve. The formula for exponential growth is dn over dt equals Rn. N is population size. T is time. R is the intrinsic rate of increase. Exponential growth occurs in the early stages of population growth. It occurs when a population is introduced to a new environment. It cannot continue indefinitely. Resources become limited. Logistic growth occurs when resources are limited. The population grows slowly at first. Then it grows rapidly. Then it levels off. It reaches the carrying capacity. Logistic growth follows an shaped curve. The formula for logistic growth is dn over dt equals Rn times 1 minus n over k. K is the carrying capacity. Logistic growth is the most common type. Now let me explain the carrying capacity. Carrying capacity is the maximum population size that an environment can sustain. It is determined by the availability of resources. Resources include food, water, space, and shelter. When the population is below the carrying capacity, resources are abundant. The population grows. When the population is above the carrying capacity, resources are scarce. The population declines. When the population is at the carrying capacity, resources are limited. The population is stable. The carrying capacity is not fixed. It can change with environmental conditions. It can change with changes in resource availability. It can change with changes in climate. It can change with human activities. Now, let me explain the factors affecting population growth. These factors are called limiting factors. Limiting factors are resources or conditions that limit population growth. There are two types: density-dependent factors and density-independent factors. Density-dependent factors affect population growth based on population density. They include competition, predation, disease, and parasitism. Competition increases as population density increases. Individuals compete for food, water, and space. Predation increases as population density increases. Predators have more prey to eat. Disease increases as population density increases. Diseases spread more easily in crowded populations. Parasitism increases as population density increases. Parasites have more hosts to infect. Density-dependent factors regulate population growth. They prevent populations from exceeding the carrying capacity. Density-independent factors affect population growth regardless of population density. They include natural disasters, climate, and human activities. Examples include floods, droughts, fires, and hurricanes. Density-independent factors can cause sudden changes in population size. Now, let me explain population regulation. Population regulation is the process by which populations are maintained within certain limits. It involves both density-dependent and density-independent factors. Density-dependent factors regulate populations through negative feedback. As population density increases, the factors become more intense. They reduce population growth. They prevent populations from exceeding the carrying capacity. Density-independent factors regulate populations through random events. They can reduce population size regardless of density. They can cause fluctuations in population size. Population regulation is essential for the stability of ecosystems. Now, let me explain population dynamics in different organisms. Different organisms have different population dynamics. Our selected species are species that reproduce rapidly. They have high reproductive rates. They produce many offspring. They have short generation times. They are adapted to unstable environments. Examples include insects, rodents, and weeds. K-selected species are species that reproduce slowly. They have low reproductive rates. They produce few offspring. They have long generation times. They are adapted to stable environments. Examples include elephants, whales, and humans. The population dynamics of our selected species are characterized by rapid growth and fluctuations. The population dynamics of K-selected species are characterized by slow growth and stability. These patterns reflect different life strategies. Now, let me explain the concept of metapopulation. A metapopulation is a group of populations that are connected by dispersal. They are separated by space. Individuals move between populations. This movement is called dispersal. Metapopulations are important for conservation. They allow for recolonization after local extinctions. They maintain genetic diversity. The metapopulation concept is important for understanding population dynamics. Now let me explain population interactions. Populations interact with each other in various ways. The first is competition. Competition occurs when organisms compete for resources. It can be intraspecific or interspecific. Intraspecific competition is competition within a species. Interspecific competition is competition between species. The second is predation. Predation occurs when one organism eats another. The predator eats the prey. The third is parasitism. Parasitism occurs when one organism lives on or inside another. The parasite benefits. The host is harmed. The fourth is mutualism. Mutualism occurs when both organisms benefit. The fifth is commensalism. Commensalism occurs when one organism benefits and the other is unaffected. These interactions shape populations and communities. Now, let me explain the importance of population ecology. Population ecology is important for several reasons. First, it helps us understand population dynamics. It helps us understand how populations change. Second, it helps us manage wildlife populations. It helps us determine sustainable harvest levels. Third, it helps us conserve endangered species. It helps us develop conservation strategies. Fourth, it helps us control pest populations. It helps us develop control strategies. Fifth, it helps us understand human populations. It helps us address social and economic issues. Sixth, it supports ecosystem management. Population ecology is essential for environmental management. Now, let me explain human population growth. Human population growth is a significant issue. The human population has grown rapidly over the past century. This growth is due to advances in medicine, agriculture, and technology. The human population is currently over 8 billion. It is expected to reach 9 billion by 2050. Human population growth has significant impacts. It increases the demand for resources. It increases the demand for food, water, and energy. It increases the production of waste and pollution. It contributes to environmental degradation. It contributes to climate change. It threatens biodiversity. Managing human population growth is essential for sustainable development. Now, let me explain the methods of studying populations. There are several methods. The first is direct counting. Direct counting involves counting every individual in a population. This is possible for small populations. The second is sampling. Sampling involves counting a subset of the population. The sample is used to estimate the population size. The quadrat method is used for stationary organisms. The capture-recapture method is used for mobile organisms. The formula for capture-recapture is population size equals number marked in first capture times number captured in second capture divided by number marked in second capture. The third is indirect counting. Indirect counting involves counting signs of organisms. These include tracks, nests, and droppings. These methods provide information about population size. Now let me give you sample exam questions. Define population ecology. Population ecology is the study of populations in relation to their environment. Distinguish between exponential and logistic growth. Exponential growth occurs with unlimited resources. Logistic growth occurs with limited resources and reaches carrying capacity. Explain the concept of carrying capacity. Carrying capacity is the maximum population size an environment can sustain. State the difference between density-dependent and density-independent factors. Density-dependent factors depend on population density. Density-independent factors do not depend on population density. Distinguish between R-selected and K-selected species. R-selected species have high reproductive rates. K-selected species have low reproductive rates. Explain the importance of population ecology. Population ecology helps manage wildlife, conserve species, control pests, and understand human populations. Let me summarise. Population ecology is the study of populations in relation to their environment. Characteristics of populations include size, density, distribution, age structure, and sex ratio. Population growth is determined by birth rate, death rate, immigration, and emigration. There are two types of population growth: exponential and logistic. Carrying capacity is the maximum population size. Limiting factors are density dependent and density independent. Population regulation maintains populations within limits. R-selected species have high reproductive rates. K-selected species have low reproductive rates. Population ecology is important for conservation, management, and understanding human populations. Practice these concepts. When you have them down, move to topic 5.